recording. Okay, so Microsoft Office, we all know the importance of using the Microsoft Office, like using the Word, Excel, Publisher, PowerPoint, Outlook. Outlook you can configure on your phone so that anytime you receive email, you can open it on your system. And then we also have the Access, as I explained the concept of database management system. And then the desktop publishing is also part of the Microsoft Office package that you can use to publish your articles, whatever. And we go to the concept of computer programming. As I said, programming is the process of writing code. Developers write code based on algorithms. They write code based on certain framework. So before you write the code, you must understand the flowcharts of the solution framework. So computer programming is all about adopting strategy, adopting principles. You have to follow principles. Syntaxes. We say syntax. What is the syntax for writing this algorithm? What is the syntax for doing? So the syntax can simply being the rule, the policy you have to follow. So every computer programmer is instructor. Let me put it that way. Instructor, meaning that you have to actually follow certain principles. So for example, I gave an example on simple interest. Simple interest, if you are solving the problem of simple interest, then you must know those parameters that will help you to input into the system. If you're able to identify those parameters, and then you identify the process that goes on as simple interest. The problem, simple interest. How do you go about a simple interest? What is the formula? So these are the instructions that you put down, and then you now go for the platform that will help you to actually solve the problem. So you can choose any platform you want. You can choose Java, Python, PHP, JavaScript, whatever. And then you just input the algorithm. So I made mention of algorithm and or methodology. Algorithm can be a methodology, but algorithm can be part of methodology. For example, as I gave simple interest. Simple interest, it's a problem. You can have a formula. So there's a formula for that, simple interest. So you have to follow step 1, step 2, step 3. If you miss one step, it won't work. Even mathematically, if you miss one step, you'll be marked wrong. So the same principle. So computer programming is writing code, writing instruction. Okay. So that is what we have for today. So we are almost done with the chapter 1. What I want us to be looking at is we have to test ourselves on the chapter 1. But before I move on, please let me, do you have any question before we discuss the other part? So far, we talked about software, system software, and then we move on to device drivers, firmware. Please, do you have any question with regard to what we have discussed so far?
Okay.
So not necessarily a question, but maybe or a comment. So this system software for me, it's like we use some of them depending on what you do. Some of them you use them so you know the name or the names are familiar, but you don't really have an understanding how they work. So you need, for instance, maybe you're using um, Microsoft Word, PowerPoint. For me, as to how we go about it to have PowerPoint, I'm not sure. I know I use PowerPoint. All I need to do is open that tab and put in whatever I need to put in there.
Okay.
So I know them, but how they operate or whatever, I am not too sure. So it's are we supposed to just know that these are system softwares, or we are supposed to know how it functions, or it's just that we need to know that these are like examples of system software. So they are the things that we use on our computers every day and help us to do whatever we need to do in our various fields.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what we are looking at is the basic concept of the software. And
Okay.
if we are to move further, then we have to look at one, how can we use the PowerPoint?
Mm.
What are the processes that you can go through to become proficient in using the PowerPoint? What are the benefits of using the PowerPoint? What are the disadvantages of using the PowerPoint? How best can we ensure the PowerPoint become efficient in our offices? So these are some of the questions we ask ourselves when we are going through the basics. Then we know exactly where to apply. So right now, like I'm doing presentation, seeing the benefit of using the PowerPoint. But I think there are other features that we can explore. Like for this one, you can automate the PowerPoint and then you just make it like animation form where you can have the slide as the slide is moving, then you also there will be someone reading. So we can look at the other side of it, but for right now, we are looking at the basic of the Microsoft Office or the software in general, right?
Mm.
So that if you want to go further, then we look at the details. But uh,
All right.
the
Okay.
practical is not going to cover these ones
Mm.
because I believe they are the basic software we normally use daily. When you go to
Mm.
office, we use PowerPoint, Word, probably Excel for maybe small calculations. But for now, we want to look at the basics. Then we'll spend time on those ones like what we need to be online, what we need to actually fix ourselves in the job market. That is what we want to look at. Because if you become, let's say, for example, help desk, what are the characteristics or what are the things that you have to be looking at? For help desk, you have to look at the job requirement of any help desk. Are you going to use chatting system to communicate with your customers? Are you going to use PowerPoint? So you have to look at available tools that will help you to be efficient in the help desk environment. If you want to become technical instructor on the platform, maybe if a customer has a problem and then contact the organization, you are the context or you are the instructor, technical instructor, then it means that you must know most of the software, hardware, network, almost everything about the ICT. So we are looking at the basic in all aspects of the ICT. Then we can now take, okay, when you take help desk, what can we do? When we take data analysis, what can we do there? When you take,
All right. Okay, thank you.
you're welcome. Hello, Mr. Kwabna.
Yeah.
Do you have any question?
No, please.
Oh, okay. Okay. What I want us to be looking at is how best we can, we are done with chapter 1. According to the course outline, okay, this thing is done. So let me look at it. So we have course outline here. Okay, so we know definition of computing. Let me end this recording here.